I'm not comprised of oohs
And I
and
still got my,
ahs.
I
I'm
still got my
comprised of
protective style.
substance. Welcome to the Immersive Experience. I'm your guide, Desilu, and tonight we talk about the mirage of potential. And we have Mental and China with us tonight. Once again, thank you guys so much for joining us. I
Peace
definitely
and love.
appreciate it. Okay, hey. So tonight we're talking about the mirage of potential. The first thing I want to start with is if you guys can tell us what potential means to you.
What potential means?
Yeah, what it means to
Like
you. Like,
potential means like the make of something that it could possibly be
mhm.
a
Okay, okay.
possibility.
I don't
All
know.
right.
I would think like in one of my rhymes, I come to do work like the knowledge clerk to enhance this so people can get what I'm saying. So if you can't translate between self and others, then there's a low potential. But once you can start translating between self and others, it builds your potential because it builds self.
Mm. Okay, okay. I like that. I like that. So, so as far as that, for me, potential is basically what both of you have said. It's just falling in love with our what me and Mental were just talking about. You not falling in love with this person. You just think you is, but it's only benefiting that person. So it's seeing somebody and being and thinking like, oh, they could be this person. Oh, I know you could be Superman because I see the Superman traits in you, but they ain't never showed you nothing. And they show you like little moments, but they don't show you consistent moments. So that's what potential is to me. Like that's that back and forth, the inconsistency, the self
I wouldn't know.
deception.
Potential is more. You have a song in your head. You have a beat in your head. You have everything you need for that song to come to fruition, but you ain't wrote nothing down yet.
It's the
You ain't played
possibility.
one note yet. Everything is still here. So the
Absolutely. It's the
potential
possibility.
is here,
Right.
but it just hasn't materialized yet.
I agree.
I wouldn't
I,
call it a,
Right.
something good or bad. It's just potential. It's what it is.
I think if we know who we
Right.
are,
Right.
what we want, I think it plays on the spectrum of what's good for us and what's not good for us. Understanding what's aligning with you and what's not aligning with you in that sense. Not in a sense of it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. It's a good
Right.
thing, bad thing when you understand what you need and want, is how I mean it. That makes sense.
Hmm.
Okay. So first question I would like to ask you guys is how can we differentiate between genuine growth and the illusion of potential? And Mental, I think you just really explained that really, really well. I think
I was gonna
with
say there is no illusion of potential. Everyone has potential. All of us. It's part of the
exactly.
matrix.
I agree
Now,
with
putting
that.
that potential and materializing it is the same thing. In fact, you can look at potential like magic. I got some thoughts up here that I want to make happen.
Mhm.
When it comes from up here to out here, we call it a plan. We call it taking it, doing the steps to make it. But really, it's magic. We brought a thought or an idea from something that was immaterial and made it material. That's what magic does.
Okay. I agree with that. China, how can we differentiate between genuine growth and the illusion of potential?
Genuine growth is something that you need. So the difference would be something you need to work on within inside you that's growing, that needs to grow. That's growth. That's something that you've already kind of like noticed when inside of you that you're working on. That's growth. And you're
Right.
practicing that. Potential is working towards the possibility of making something anew. I think that's the difference between the two.
And as we see, how would you be able to tell the difference? Like if you're in a situation, how do you know like this growth, that's
How do you know
potential?
you're growing? You know you grow when you handle something differently from, like, say for instance, how some people say, boy, if I was 25-year-old China, they will see a different side of me. But this 35-year-old China is the cool, calm, and collected. You know, you've kind of grown from an immature way of handling things. You see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So that's the difference. I would say you can see yourself growing when you see yourself maturing from a situation or how you will handle certain things.
Right. So growth
And
is
all that has
concrete.
to do with knowing yourself. You knew yourself back then, and you done calmed yourself down to be a better you. That's all. Still you, it's just a better you. And the better you says we don't make those decisions over emotion anymore. We think
Absolutely.
things through so we become better. Know better, do better.
I agree with that. So growth is concrete. My potential is
I
potential. We
agree.
can potentially do something. We can potentially be something. These thoughts can potentially be concrete.
Hmm.
These actions can lead to a more consistent person that I want to be. That's growth, right?
And this could be in a
So,
negative way or a positive way,
okay, explain that for us then.
because you can grow negatively. Say, for instance, you like little girls,
Mm,
and instead of you trying to grow away from the urges, you grow towards it. Start looking at child stuff and walking around the mall, and slowly you're growing that nature.
right.
So
Because we're
there could
not
be a
aware.
negative, or we could flip it around. You like little girls, but instead of you preying on little girls, you just pick women that look younger. You still have an issue, but you're trying to go about it a different way so you can still get what you want without hurting anyone.
So it's
Growth.
like really a mind game, playing a mind game within yourself.
That's all it's good. That's all it ever is. It's a mind game between you and this outside world. Because remember, the number one law of Tahuti is the mind is mental. I mean, everything is mental. Everything. You are the projecting everything onto this world. Whether you have a good day or a bad day, it's going to be up to you.
Okay,
I
mental.
agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
You
I
just
It's a
agree.
react to the things that are going on in the environment. You don't have to react.
Oh Lord, that's
And that's
cheers.
all. Right. We don't have to
Cheers to
react
that.
to this stuff. I don't care what goes on. We do not have to react. Period. That's part of the programming. They kill one of us in a cold blood
I think
murder,
that's a lot.
a cop.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Hold on, real quick. They kill one of us like George Ferguson, and they strangle us out. Then we all do all these marches because they want us to react. They want to see what we're gonna do. And as long as we're marching, they know we ain't on no spirit, no higher level. We still doing the same thing we used to do back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Same mentality.
Doing the same same. It ain't nothing new. Well, I can say that some of us are getting more in depth with it with the legal system, but that's about it. I mean, it's still
Oh
the
yeah, you.
same thing, same outcome, same
But we're working
everything.
in their system. We're calling ourselves goddesses and goddesses, gods, nine ether beings. We work in the invisible world. That's what no one's talking about. We work in a world of darkness where we illuminate because of our spirit and our soul.
he
That's
talking
where
about
we
your
are. That's where we're the
potential.
most powerful. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said you talking about her potential.
Right. It's all of our
This the
potential.
person that you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up to this. But it's about instilling the knowledge in yourself, going out and getting the knowledge, understanding that it is. You could go and get it, and then you could use it and apply it to yourself because that's what wisdom is. Wisdom is having the knowledge and knowing when to apply it. So
Absolutely.
he giving you nothing but facts. So take it how you take it, apply it whenever you need to apply it. That's how
Yeah,
you plant a seed. I'ma just drop the
that's
bean,
true.
and when you ready
That's
to
true.
water that motherfucker, then you gonna do what you need to do. So, China, how does our perception of someone's potential influence our feelings towards them?
That's up to you. It's up to that person. That's called self-control. Because in all honesty, can't nobody influence me to do anything. or feel a
Mm-hmm.
certain way, if you know yourself, you probably can play on my emotions for a moment, depending on the setting. But like Mental said, it goes based on programming yourself to act on that. You know what I mean? So the same way you programming yourself to act a certain way, you need to program yourself on how you allow somebody to make you feel.
Mm.
Because
Okay,
as
I,
long as
okay.
you know
oh,
yourself, then can't nobody make you feel a way.
I'd put it even plainer. Can't nobody make you do nothing, man or female. They can't make you do nothing. What I do is I set the bar. I set the example. This is what I am. This is what I do. Either you like it or you don't. Now, if you don't like it, hey, baby, I'm not changing. I'm trying to get better from here, not worse. I'm not
Right.
in the world. I'm not into religion. I'm not into the things
Mm,
that people want. What feels good, looks good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. I'm into me. And through me, I can reach everyone. Because that's through the spirit. That's where I get connected. That's where
yeah.
we're all connected. You see what I'm saying? So this is the key. Women, listen very, 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 very carefully. If your man is not giving you a positive example of what a man is, get the hell away from him.
I agree with
Okay?
that.
Let the dick go. Let the money go. All he's doing is poisoning you slowly but surely. Trust me. If he's not giving you a positive example of what you think a man should be, and we all know men don't hit women. Chivalry ain't dead if you trying. All you got to do is try. Women don't ask you to really do a lot of shit. They really just want you to see if you'll try to do some shit. Even if it don't come out right, they like the effort.
That's so
Because
true.
that means we're thinking about you.
That
If
is
I'm
so
trying to
true.
do
That
something
is
for
so
you, you see what
true.
I'm saying? But most of us done turn the whole game into gifts and
Yeah.
money and all this stuff. And what does that say? That says I have enough money to buy you things. That's all that says. That has nothing to do with how I feel about you.
I agree with that. And I think that go into that question fairly well, because I think that's how our perception of someone's potential influence our feelings towards them. We sit there and we think about how they make us feel or what they could possibly be capable of, or oh, I know if I just stick it out just a little longer, this person might flip the script and do something different for me. But the thing is, when we dealing with potential, we have to deal in the reality. The same way we talk about how we have to deal with ourselves, we have to deal with ourselves in the reality of where we are standing now. You could say you finna quit smoking heroin tomorrow, but let's be realistic. You really finna, you gotta go through all these.
Today you
Yeah,
high.
you
Look,
got the
today you
potential to
high.
be drug free, but you got to go through the process first. And I think a lot of times for a lot of us, we don't be ready to go through the comments and stuff. The comments. Oh Lord, that's because that thing popped up on the screen. Like that thing trying to tell me something now, but we don't be ready to put the work in. I say that often. Like Kevin Hart, I'm sure he wasn't the first person to say it, but everybody want to be famous, but nobody want to put the work in. Everybody want to be in a relationship, but nobody want to put the work in. You hear me? So it's
Everybody
easy
want
for
to
us.
go to heaven, but nobody want to die.
Hey, you hear me? Hey, that part.
I'm just
That,
saying.
but
I'm just
Exactly.
saying. You
I
know, if
get it.
heaven's this big thing,
Exactly.
but nobody want to die.
Don't nobody
Okay.
want to die.
Because they believe there's a heaven. Remember, belief
Hmm.
means doubt. We're in the realm of knowing. When you know, it's no big deal because you know it vibrates with every piece of your core. That's another thing. I give an example of truth. I let the truth speak for me. So if I'm with a woman and I'm like da 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 da, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm telling you," I said, "Watch the truth. The truth is unwielding and it's always gonna roll in the same direction. All you got to do is roll with it." And I demonstrate that because that's how one I am with my spirit. Spirit can show me, I can show someone else, and me, spirit, her, and her spirit are the only four that's looking at what's going on because
Mm-hmm.
it makes us in a world, but not of it. Because the world depends on your
Uh,
projection of it.
I also think that's what truth give you. Truth don't give you the
Mm.
if something is for me, it's not gonna come in confusion. I'm not gonna sit here and have to keep guessing. Oh, is this what this is supposed to be? Is this what this is supposed to feel like? No, it's gonna feel how it's supposed to feel. Like this what I want to feel. So I agree with mental. When you know you ain't gonna accept just anything. You're gonna be looking at it like, what the fuck is this shit? Nah, this ain't what I signed up for. I gotta get the that's how you stop falling. That's how you stop falling for people potential. That's how you stop getting upset about the things that because that's that standards versus expectation shit.
But
This the
it
standard.
does it even better because now you only attract people that are at that level. You don't even
I agree
attract
with that.
those that don't want. And if you do, you attract someone that's so opposite. You be like, really? Come on. You
Mhm.
already know. I mean, why are we even talking right now? So everything kind of clears itself up the more you get to know self.
I
That's the
agree.
greatest relationship you'll ever have. All right. That relationship with self. In fact,
Knowing
I don't think
self,
there
yeah.
is another relationship. The rest of them feed off of that. So if you ain't got that self relationship, you lying to yourself. Think about it. You're lying to yourself when you know the truth.
I agree. I was just having that
Yeah.
conversation.
Yep. Yep.
Self
How can you
deception.
even do that? Put energy to it. You know
Hmm.
the truth, but you continually lie to yourself and others when you know the truth.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Is it denial or is it we want what we want even though it's not good for us?
It's denial.
But you can say, no, I do it, or, no, I did it, or no, boom, boom, boom. You can state it and still do it. But when you can't even say it to yourself,
But you'll
that's
cover it up
more,
with
no, that would
different
be more
wording.
denial. That would be more denial. You just,
Yeah,
nah.
that's
Mm-mm.
it. You just covering up with a different word so you don't got to deal with it directly. You think you going about it in a roundabout way. We be trying to find loopholes to stop fucking with our bullshit, but our bullshit gonna come right back around to us. It
And,
don't matter what type of.
and like you women would say, a cheating man with a
Yep.
good woman.
Every time.
Every time he cheats, it hurts him. Y'all think it don't hurt. Y'all think that a man just cheats and he just, yeah, and everything's great. No, when he go back and faces a good woman, a piece of him is gone. And then when he does it so much, he ends up leaving because he knows he ain't even worthy. That was them grandmas back in the day. They knew how to take care of a man. They knew
Some
what
of them
time it
men
was.
like that. I can't say all them men like that. Some of
Oh,
them. Cause some of them men, they'll cheat on the good. This one dude, he told me, he said, I know I done had some good women in my life. And he said the one question I used to ask myself before I would fuck them over is, what did you do to deserve what I'm about to do to you?
well,
I
I would
done
call him a weak man because
I
a
done
strong man
encountered
could have
some
just said,
niggas.
"Hey, this is
Like,
what this is what I'm about. I'm gonna be real with you." 9 times out of 10, a woman gonna do what a woman gonna do anyway.
you
So
real
being
shit.
honest with them only unburdens us. But honesty has gotten such a bad rep.
I agree.
I'm being real. Being the truthful with a woman has gotten such a bad rep.
Yeah.
You tell a woman what you are and what you are about, and let her make a decision. Boom. Relationship off the top starts nicely. But most relationships starts with lies. We cover up our face, we put on shit, we looking our best, we got our best look on, we got our best talk game on. You know what I'm saying?
So let me
Instead of
ask you
just being
something.
us.
Let me ask you, what do you think happens when the potential we see doesn't materialize? Because I feel like that's what you hitting on.
I don't look for potential in people. I look for
But
the
they
people
was
as they
the
are because
scenarios you was just given. They was all looking for the potential of, oh, okay, oh, I'm not gonna be honest with her because if I don't have to tell her the truth, so then like, how does that materialize? Because even though we deceive somebody, and then
you
we'll be thinking,
the way it materializes is once again, I say it again. When you see a person concerned with what feels good, looks good, tastes good, smells good, sounds good, you know when someone is giving you something from the spirit,
mm-hmm,
from the mind, something inside. You can hear it. It has a wavelength to it. It has a frequency. You know it's different. And you also know when the nigga's giving you that bullshit ass line.
So
You
what you
know,
choose to do is what you choose to do. Hey, Nehemiah.
come on now. Come on.
Absolutely. I agree.
That's all. And you are women. Women have that outlet. You can have babies. You have that spiritual opening to the next realm in you. That's why it's so key to shut you down. You have every race within you. Everything
Mm.
comes off of y'all. You're the only women on the planet that can say that. Only men that have 9 to go in hair that grows straight up on the planet. They did their best to wipe us out.
They
Don't
sure
ever get
did.
it twisted how important you are. I don't care what state you are at right now. I don't care how low you think you are. Your greatness is magnificent. No one can take it from you. I don't care if you're in jail. I don't care if you're on the streets. It's just a matter of you changing your mind. That's all it takes for any of us. Most of us don't know any better. So we say Jesus did it, or Muhammad did it, or Allah did it, or Buddha did it. Because all we know is that. But really, it's you doing it. You're just using that energy because that's all you know. If
Right.
you get healed, something happens to you, you have a dream and you get healed, all you know is Buddha. Buddha healed me, and you go to the testimony of how Buddha healed you. But all those things represent energies that are in you.
I
That's what
agree.
they don't want you to know. That's the big secret. When they said we were 3/5 of a human being, they meant we were two part angels, not animals.
I remember
See, the
you
truth
talking
comes
about
out
this
now.
that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were two-part. We got DNA in us that no other race on this planet has. How else can you, as the black woman, give birth to every single race on this planet?
They
Because we're not on this
understood
planet.
they understood our potential and they wanted to limit us. So it's people who will prey on your potential just as much as it's people who will try to use your potential to better you. So I think it's a strong saying of how people always say that your enemy will show you how strong you are. So
Absolutely.
it go
But the
into
key
that.
is, as long as Desi is doing Desi, I don't give a damn what anyone else does. It don't matter.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You ain't even got to
Hmm.
react to what they doing because you on your path. It don't
Yeah,
matter. They
exactly.
can hate. They can love you. They can put petals at your feet. They can do whatever they want to do. None of it should matter.
Yeah.
Because if you let
But
them
that's
boost you up, they can
that's
bring you
how you
down.
walk through a lot of illusions. That's how you get past those the five things that feel good, look good, taste good, sound good, all of that.
The
That's how you
sugars,
walk past it. Yeah, the five sugars. That's what you call them. Yes. Yes, but even when I
five
was
sugars.
looking at this, I thought about the five sugars when I was looking at this because I started thinking of like you start thinking about the type of people you attracted to, the type of things that you like in life, what you want
Boom.
your life to be like, the material things that you think you gotta manifest to be that bitch or to be that man, like whatever it is that you think you gotta go by, you go by the five sugars. That's
And
exactly what
nine
you do.
times out of 10, it's going against what you really want on the inside.
Hmm. China, can I are have you ever been in love with the person or image of what they could become?
Oh, yes, honey. Definitely.
He said, yeah. He was like, oh, hell yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead, dear. I'm sorry.
She done swooped this question. Um, Definitely, I would say like when you have that puppy love, like that first real thing when you grown, right? And like you're young and they're young, and you seeing that this possibly could grow into something great, and you meeting a potential person. You're not meeting the real man. You're meeting a potential man, a man that is showing you what he could be, not what he is. That's a potential person to me, because when you dive deep into a situation and that man starts to show you who he really is, that's not who you fell in love with. You fell in love with the potential, what this possibly could be. That's the potential. I fell in love with a potential. Okay. So I didn't fall in love with a real man. I fell
What
in love with a
expectations
potential.
did you have on him in at that younger age?
I mean, it wasn't as a teenager. I was grown, but
Uh-huh.
um
In fact,
when
not even that.
you expect
What expectations do you have for a man?
when you
Period.
when you
Whether you're young or old.
He said, "What
I expect for a man
expectation?"
to be a man to provide.
Okay.
I
And what does that
expect him
mean?
to be a man that's going to provide.
Uh huh.
I'm trying
Provide
to
what?
get there. Y'all keep interrupting.
I'm sorry, dear. Go ahead.
Provide for his. I know
It cut out.
you keep interrupting. Let me get there.
I can't hear because it keeps cutting bit
I
in and
Keep
out.
expect
cutting
him to
out. You
be.
got bad signal or
Oh, it's
something.
my.
Yeah.
Oh, like I expect him to be a man that's going to provide for his family. When you that young, you want the white picket fence. Everybody wants the white picket fence with the kids, and the mom is in the house being a woman, doing her womanly duties with the house, cleaning and cooking and taking care of the kids, and the man is doing what he's supposed to do, bring, the hat, bring it in, working, bringing in the bacon, and we cooking the bacon. That's what you
Uh-huh.
expect as a woman,
So you're a
Whoa,
but
no,
traditionalist.
however,
keep
if my
going.
man
There's
falls,
more
I'm gonna
than
always be there to express.
well. Now see, this is my only
Did
issue.
I
Is this is
freeze or
the
did they freeze? I
you
think I
did no,
froze.
you froze. Then I thought you were done. I'm sorry, dear. Go ahead. I didn't hear the last half.
What part did you last leave off on?
You were saying the traditional man to provide for the family. You wanted the picket fence. You wanted that the man come in and provide for the family. But my question is, besides money, what else does a man need to provide? Besides money and sex, what else does a man need? To be a real man, to be a father figure, to be whatever what else?
What do I expect from a man is what you're saying, to be a real man. He got to love me unconditionally. Yes, loyalty, show that he is true within himself and what he can
Hmm.
do for us and nurture us, build us as a family, not just providing materialistics. It goes deeper than materials.
Okay.
Okay, and before we go
I
any
think I
further,
froze again.
I would like for, I think Miss D, is that Miss D?
Yeah.
Would you
How you
like to
doing?
introduce yourself? If you got any Instagram handles or anything, tell us what you do. Um,
Oh.
Hi, good night. I'm Deandra. I'm a hairstylist and a salon owner. I'm based in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My Instagram is underscore the certified loft, and my TikTok is the same thing. So it's certified loft.
perfect. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to have you here tonight. And then, mental, you were just asking China.
Oh, well, I was just referring to when I hear women talk about what they want from men, 9 times out of 10, it has everything to do with, once again, the 5 sugars. Not saying you, Miss China, but the 5 sugars: feels good, tastes good, looks good, house, fence, car, making money. I always go into a shallow man can do all those things.
Mm-hmm.
A man that doesn't love you can do all those things. What we should be
Mm-hmm.
looking into, a lot of these nerds will, what we used to call nerds, a man that actually cares about you. And I'm not saying when you said unconditional love and stuff, that's things you build up to. But at first, we come with, all right, what type of person are you? What type of person am I? You know what I'm saying? Let's just break all the bullshit down. Ooh, what type of person are you? And can we get along? And normally that has to do with, like you said, loyalty, forgiveness, righteousness, knowledge, knowing who you are, knowledge of self, having emotional control. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that a real man has. And most men that have that are not going to be your alpha males. They're not going to be out there barking. They ain't going to be out there fighting for anything. All right? They're the ones that after you done fighting, you go talk to.
But you said what was my expectation?
Right.
You said
And I'm just
what
saying
is my
a lot of
expectations of I guess I got because but that's what make a real man is the make of a man is what you're saying right now. But my expectation would be for what I expect him to do.
but,
I guess I
but
got the
most of
question a little confused.
no, you answered it correctly. That's why I said what I was saying did not apply to you. I stated that before I even said it. I wasn't actually talking about you. But what attracts us to a man? Let's be real. Before you know anything on the inside, you're going by what looks good, feels good, tastes good, smells good, sounds good with a man. Very few of us look into a man's eyes and want to know what's in his soul. Look into a woman's eyes and want to know what's in her soul. That's the first thing I do. I can tell the passion, and not the passion for sex, but just the passion and the will of what she is and who she is. Through the eyes to the soul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're looking at the wrong things when we go to try to get together. Therefore, we can't help but be disappointed. Men know you wear wigs and fingernails and all this and done up and makeup and boom, 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 boom. But when we first see you, we look at you like that's you. And then when we see you when you wake up in the morning with none of that, we realize that's you. You understand what I'm saying? We'd be better off if we came, let's meet. I ain't gonna wear nothing. You ain't gonna wear. We just gonna be, I ain't even gonna be shaved. We just gonna be the worst me. And I want to see the worst of you. If we can get along like this, we definitely can get along when we right.
Well, I think that's why they say that a lot of men, that's why you get hollered at the most when you in your sweatpants or your pajamas and you going out to the store with your hair bad. Some lady was like, only reason why men holler at you right then and there is because they can deal with the worst you. They understand that you ain't hiding nothing. I heard somebody say that before. But to me, if a nigga fucking with you, he fucking with you whether you got makeup on, a wig on, whatever you got on, he gonna fuck with you regardless.
But that's not the issue. Remember, we're talking about knowledge of self. What is the best you? The best Desi is the all natural Desi because you know what? She can get up and wake up. I go to bed like this, bitch. I wake up like this. Same me. Everywhere I go.
I do all
No,
of those
I'm not
things.
saying it in a negative way. Women want to express themselves. I got that. I'm just saying for us as a culture, a lot of the stuff we've been programmed to do things like that. And some women that with knowledge of self will still do it, not quoting anything, saying anything bad. It's just me. I'd like to see my women in all natural. Even if I'm with one that wants to wear weave. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind on anything.
You just
Don't
got
get
a
it twisted.
preference.
Right. If you like it, I like it. And if I like you, then I'm going to get with it. So it don't really matter. Okay? It don't really matter. All right? I'm going to take it with you because it's part of you. What I love about you is you. Not the clothes, not all of that. I love the personality. I know when I talk to Desi, she gonna be genuine with me. She gonna be real with me. I know if I cry in a movie, she ain't gonna call me a little bitch or a little sucker because I'm emotional and I can feel. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even if you did it, I'd be like, well, tenfold, that's how you feel. Obviously, you don't know what a real man is. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's the first quality of
that shows strength in a man. Oh, I was referring to him saying if he can cry, that shows strength to me in a man. That shows that he's a strong man. When a man hides his feelings, that's when he's more weak to me, personally.
I agree in any aspect. I think if you just got to know how to handle your emotions.
No,
Period.
but men, if they cry a little too much for women, they're too emotional. Oh,
I agree. You ain't
this
lying.
one woman had a question. She said, "What happens when the man is more emotional than me?" This is what the woman said, and the dude replied, "Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? He's does that mean he's so in touch with himself and he has this emotional maturity that you can't handle?" Because if he can cry and let you know when he's hurting, he's just being a real man. He's feeling and he's giving you, letting you know when you do this, it hurts. And
That's
your
fine, but you don't
reply
gotta cry every
is
single
What
that
do
time
you
he's
to
mean
be
weak
able to
by
tell
or
me.
what do
he's
you mean by
emotional.
you cry
You
more than
don't gotta
me?
cry every single time.
Not
Is
more,
it
no,
every
cry
day you
more than
crying
you.
every
When
day?
he says he's just more emotional to me, meaning he will sit there and be like, that hurt. Or
Oh, well,
that ain't
yeah.
right.
I
Or,
ain't mad if you
you
can
know,
express yourself. If you know how to express yourself, I'm fine with that. If you a crybaby, that's a different story.
what
So
is a
What
crybaby?
what she said? You can't be
a crybaby, somebody that's
emotional.
wham all the time.
I
It's just
think
tears, tears, tears
most
for
men
no
want to
reason.
be
Like I
displayed.
don't got time for that. Like
Well, that's the
That's
opposite of, I would say,
annoying.
of being emotional. Now that's excessive.
But I
yeah,
You're
that's what
going
I'm
into
saying.
trauma and things of that nature. But a man, we watching a movie. It's sad as hell. You got a tear coming down your eye. I got a tear coming down my eye. Just because I can cry with you, I'm weak.
That's no, I ain't saying
But
that.
this is
I'm
what I'm
saying I
saying.
agree with you.
But some women would say that's weak. Man ain't supposed to cry. He's supposed to
I know.
we both can't be hurt. Well, shit, if I'm
Miss
hurt, I'm hurt.
Miss
I don't know what to
Deandra,
tell
Miss
you.
Deandra had something she wanted to say real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
feel like if a man could cry in your presence and he can express himself in your presence, that means he holds you at some sort of high standards, because most men aren't gonna just break down and cry in front of you. So I guess he finds you at some sort of a safe
Space.
space that he can actually open up and do something like that. I don't think men are gonna just break down and cry. Most men aren't gonna do that. So if your man
Absolutely.
is actually being emotional and he's in touch with his emotions, I feel like that's a green flag as a woman, because it
Right.
speaks
I
to
He
agree.
values
how
you.
he how he
Yeah.
perceives you, how he see you, how he's comfortable enough to open up to you. In my opinion, that's how I see it.
And that
Jasmine
value
said,
has nothing to
Jasmine.
do with how you look, what you dress, how your nails are, what you smell like. This for men. I'm
Oh
just giving
yeah,
you the keys. I'm telling you, a lot of stuff y'all do for you. We don't really care.
right. Jasmine says she may not have the tools to deal with her own emotions, let alone someone else's. And she agreed with
That's
you,
a
Miss
strong statement.
Deandra. If he does that with you, he feels safe with you.
yeah,
So,
Well, how is she
I
dealing
agree.
with someone else's emotion when someone is just expressing their feelings? If they're hurt,
because
they're hurt.
I know for me, other people, because I was uncomfortable with my own
No,
emotions,
she's
other
saying
people's
she can't
emotions
deal with
made
her.
me uncomfortable. I couldn't handle other people's shit because I couldn't handle my own shit. What you think you finna come do? Put your shit on top of my shit? No, I'm good. Gonna take your emotional ass somewhere else. The fuck? Get the fuck on. I'm good. I
So
agree.
so
I
so
agree
I'm
with her wholeheartedly.
so I'm hearing that any expression of negative, sad emotion from a man is bad.
No, this was from
No,
anybody.
No,
It
it's
was
no,
from
not.
anybody. I
It's
didn't
not.
care if you
I'm
was a
just
woman
asking.
or a man. That was me because I didn't know how to deal with myself. So I didn't know how to deal with nobody else. I was one of them people. You start crying, oh, it's okay. I don't know what the fuck you want me to do. What you want me to do? I didn't cry. I'm not a crier. I'm not the type of person that's just finna drop a tear. So I definitely didn't know how to deal with other people's emotions because I didn't know
Yeah.
where to put mine. I had no idea. So it took
right.
me walking over that to understand that, hey, you got the
Oh,
time to be you, separate things for you. Miss Jasmine, you are so right. Some of us are raised in a
so
household where
right.
emotions weren't a thing.
That
So
oh,
Exactly.
that
and
right there. Black
I
My
moms
wasn't.
do
word.
not show their emotions. Black mothers didn't show their emotions well when we were growing up
But
at all.
but where it comes from though, it I think it stems from way back. It
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about from slavery time, not to even bring that up, but like, did they have the time to spend, time with their kids and show them
Suppressing
love
their
and tell them
feelings.
that they love
Yeah.
them? I think
Yeah.
that we come from a generation of like, a lot of women had to work. Everybody was working out in the fields. They didn't have time to like spend time with their kids and show them that they love them and tell them that they love them. I guess sometimes people just feel like, okay, they're my kids. They know that they're loved, but that's not necessarily it. Sometimes you have to stop and let your kids know, you know, you have to let them know that you love them every day.
Mm.
You have to look them in their
Mm.
eyes and tell them, I love you.
Miss-
And I think that some, like with some men, when I see men kissing their kids and being emotional
I
towards
love
their
that.
kids, I love to see
I
that.
love
Me
that.
personally, this society today, this generation, they'll be like, oh, it's this, it's that. No, that's what we need.
I think
Breathing
we've
space
gotten
for
better as
loving.
a society.
You think so?
I think our society has definitely gotten better in showing the emotional part
Mhm.
in their children.
But when it's posted, but
You don't
Oh,
think so?
with
I
their
think
I don't
children.
think so.
Oh,
When I
okay.
see it on
If
social
you saying
media,
with their
people buy
children,
shit.
maybe.
I don't think so.
with
I don't.
I would
because I'm
disagree.
gonna be honest.
I disagree too.
I feel like in the household with our kids, a lot of kids didn't get hugs and told I love you. I feel like, but these days and times, a lot of kids in the households are getting shown what we were lacking growing up.
Okay, but hold
Well,
on.
if you look
Showing
at it,
how
good
verbally
times.
talking to them
Remember the wife.
Hold
about
on, Miss Deandra is saying
things and
something.
giving them stuff. Like, tell me,
I
how
feel
how do you feel it's being shown?
verbally.
Verbally?
I feel like some people show they love differently.
Mhm.
However, I have seen a difference in today's time.
I don't think so. I
It
disagree.
just it
I
just wasn't publicized like it is now. Because you got to remember, in good times, the dark skinned wife of James, she said when they first gave her the show, James wasn't in it. She had to fight for James to be a father figure in the role, and she was just explaining that you never see a black man with a black child doing anything on television. So you can't look for
not on
the things that we're.
Okay.
Oh, that's
She talking
television,
about
but I'm
in
saying in
real
general,
life.
in
right? You just never
today's
see it.
time in our home,
I
Miss
feel like in
Miss
today's
Deandra,
time,
why do you
I feel
disagree?
like now I disagree because when I look at social media, a lot of times, people will post stuff on social media. When you see fathers being more intimate and emotional towards their sons, their kids, what I see in the comment section, a lot of hate, a lot of people talking from they're responding from trauma. They're responding from a place of they don't understand. They never experience it, so they don't understand it. So I feel like when I hear people, when she said that you think that there's an improvement, I don't. I disagree from what I've seen.
because you
I
didn't
had
see it
this-
at all back in the day.
I had this
Well,
conversation
right,
with,
but that's
with
it
a
was
friend of
still
mine.
going on though. The social media and everyone having a camera and Facebook. Now you can put it up and you can see it more. But it was the same, just like it was back then, same way it is now. I can't say it's better or worse. It was the same. Black men has always been involved. They just put the narrative out there that black men weren't involved. That's the stereotype. That's the
No, I'm
running
not
joke.
saying just back then. I'm saying as a whole. I'm saying as a whole, women and men showing that love because for a while, honestly, black women in a household you didn't see them expressing their love towards their kids like that. Like honestly,
I disagree.
especially a
I gotta
single black
disagree with that.
mother.
No, they were even more
A black
loving.
mother showing hugs
Absolutely, more loving because they had to
Me coming from
compensate for the absence of the father.
Well, I can't tell you if I can tell you that I came from a different type of home. If that's what the world grew up with, I grew up with a mama who expressed herself, who told me that she loved me, who told me that I could do
and
things, and I
that's
still
what you
chose to
just did.
be emotionally
My mama
hardened.
was my first
And
bully.
I and
Mine
I agree
too.
that
Mine too.
sometimes your mama can be your first bully. I grew up with a lot of women who who parents didn't show them love.
In a
My mama
single
will tell
parent
you right
home.
now, her mama never told her she was proud of her or loved her until she was on her deathbed. And I feel like it's a lot of stories just like that. And as far as
There is
we
a
talk
lot.
about
Exactly.
There is a
improvement,
lot of it.
I don't
Exactly.
think
There is a
That's
that
what
lot.
I mean.
I don't
That's
think
what I
that
mean.
you
Like
You're
nowadays,
right.
I will kiss and hug on my daughters and tell them I love them all the time. Like
that's just one part of it though. That's one-sided. That's just the physicality of it. But what they had, what we think we doing is showing love, and let's be honest, you can't show nobody no real love until you truly know how to love yourself. Once you get in tune with yourself, once you know where you at, where you walking, where you headed, that's how you will know how to love your children and love them properly.
Well,
So
what
I
I would
do think that
So,
what I would say, I don't
so
want to
I
dismiss if what you ladies are actually saying is, and I'm being real, it's the trauma. If you feel that your parents didn't show you love, that's a trauma. That's a trigger in you. And you need to find a way in your life to forgive them so you can move past it. Because that can be a something that's gonna stop you from growing in the long run,
absolutely.
especially like you said, if it's true, because that's showing that no, that's trauma, and not just for you, for all the people that might be listening to this. Those familyhood, dealing with your parents. I was the middle child, the black sheep, you name it. Three boys. I was a classic middle child. I didn't feel much love. I was always trying to do things for attention until at one point it was like, man, just do you. You gonna have
Absolutely.
to, and I was young, 11, 12. That's when birthdays I didn't care. That's when Christmas I didn't care. But I was a whole different kid. But at some point, only thing I cared about is what I cared about.
I
And then
agree.
I had to go back through and forgive my parents for the way that I seen, the way I felt about them, the things that happened. If I thought I was done wrong, this, that. Because in the whole grand scheme of things, we need everything your parents did. We needed it to happen for us to be us.
I agree with you. And I thank both of you,
yeah.
all three of you guys, for coming on and talking with me today. Well, if you have any remarks to say, just something really quick and brief for them about the Mirage of Potential, then you could go ahead and say that. If not,
Peace and love.
absolutely. Um, okay, well, thank you so much, China and Miss Deandra, for coming on as well. What
Problem.
I hope to see you guys back here next Sunday. I'll say what I said at the beginning of the podcast when we came on. I'm not comprised of oohs and ahs. I'm comprised of substance. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Mirage of Potential. And I hope you guys learned something and took something away. You have a great evening. Thank you
Thank you. Thank you for letting me on.
all the
Peace.
time. Good night.